Hi everyone, I am Adele, and in case you can't recognize me, today I decided to go full bare face and put on my specs. I usually look like that when I'm in work, but that's not the point. Today we're very happy to have life coach Keith Tay in the house with us again.
Thanks, Adele.
Yes.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. And today we're very excited because me and Charmaine actually plot out a whole series of questions, and I personally think that these questions are really life-changing. So I can't wait to interview you and hear from your point of view, what do you think about these questions. And just to let you know, the topic we're talking about today is about growth in life. Are you excited?
I'm nervous.
Okay, so without further ado, let's begin.
Yep.
So, should we take our time to grow, or should we actually find ways to grow faster?
I think first and foremost, we need to define the word growth in a sense where what do you want to focus? A lot of times people talk about growth in terms of just results, like accumulation of just wealth or fame or power. But what's neglected is how do we grow as a person? If I were to tell you my son is 4-year-old and he's 180 cm, you probably find that's quite weird. And I also don't want him. Yeah, I don't want him to grow that fast. So I think deep inside of us, we know that there is an acceptable speed. And I like to use this example. You know, you go for road trips.
Yeah.
You probably find the best 4 person to be in your car so that you want to enjoy Ipoh or Genting or whatever. So you load them up, they pack, you get excited. And then there's this part there where you got into the car and you will stop by a petrol kiosk and then you will load snacks. Yeah. Some will need coffee, some will need Red Bull, and then you have a lot of conversation. And then some will take out their favorite pillow. They're getting ready the whole journey. I realized along that journey, the faster the driver drives, the shorter the sentences and the conversation, because he is very focusing on getting there fast. You can't chit-chat with Lewis Hamilton in F1, like he's so focused onto the track. So I think in life, when you're very focused on the track, what you compromise is relationship. You suddenly lost that, what's that snack for? But there are trips that you take your time, then people start singing all the lame jokes, and then all the ghost stories come out, and you get what I mean? Yes, we want to grow, we want to have that speed, but it is not at the expenses of relationship. I realized that I've been so busy with work, and I have been putting a lot of my attention on my second and my third child. My eldest one is slightly older now, and I think I've taken things for granted. Yesterday, I decided when she dropped off my office, we walked home from office. I realized, I can grab. I can get someone to fetch me easily. Actually, people offered to fetch me, my colleagues, but I decided, come, let's take a walk. From my office back home is about 2.5 km. We had the best walk. I hold her hands, we walk back.
Wow.
And you think if I take a car, it's 5 minutes. If I walk, it's 30 minutes. Is 25 minutes worth sacrificing or not? I think that's the illustration I want to tell you. But to me, I have gained a very good conversation, and my daughter told me a lot of her secrets, and I think to me that's pretty good.
Do we have a definition of the speed of growth?
I think everyone will have different definition. But a good gauge is that you define for yourself what is enough. Say for example, I started swimming, so I defined that if I can swim 1 kilometer, that is enough. But compared to what I was last time, I struggled to swim 100 meters. But now I can swim 1 kilometer. I think I'm happy about it. And I am already thinking next year I want to hit 1.5. And I'm happy about it. I'm not into any competition with anyone. But the reason I want to do that is to maintain my health. So when you want to grow, what is it for? And then what's the acceptable time frame?
What's the fine line between letting pain define us and letting pain grow us?
I think as human, the basic thing that defines us is that we have the ability to choose. And to say that I choose to let pain define me is definitely a very wrong way of living. I think the pain comes in various forms. I think there are some pain that people enjoy, because it brings about good in them. But there are some pain that people hate because it causes them to lose themselves. So you got to answer yourself, the pain that you go through or the pain that you grow through, is it pain that is self-inflicted or is it actually for the greater good? Let's say I train myself to carry weight. Actually, the reason that I want to carry weight, I want to build myself, yes, I want to build my self-esteem. But actually, I realized that I can't carry my son that much anymore. I don't have enough muscles to actually carry him around. Then I think going through that pain of training so that I can carry my son, it's great. For things that you want to do for others, I think that's great. But self-inflicted pain is that you know it's impossible to please everybody. You know getting approval from everyone is
impossible.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster, right? You know that people
are just not pleased.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So why you want to go through that pain? Then I don't think it's worth it.
I get where you're coming from, and I think like just by talking to you, we have already gained like a few points. Like first of it, you know, at the end of the day, choosing to grow is a very, very conscious decision that all of us have to make. And secondly is that, you know, along the way, when we want to justify the speed of growth, just like the road trip illustration, you know, relationship comes first, or you have to determine at that point of level, what are you choosing? And thirdly is obviously what you mentioned just now, you know, don't intentionally create a self-inflicting a pathway. I really like that recipe to disaster metaphor. So I hope you learn a thing or two through this video. We talk about growth, we talk about pain, we talk about definition of, you know, growing fast or slow. So I hope you enjoy the video. Share with your friend, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye-bye.